and welcome to Thursday Tickles, a time where I tickle you with information for your personal expansion. Why? So you can have more power, choice, in navigating all of life's challenges and adventures. So, welcome to the Thursday Tickles. Today's topic is going to be, can perfectionism fuel unhealthy relationships? Take a breath into that. Take a breath. All of the Thursday Tickles this month are going to be geared around navigating toxic or unhealthy relationship patterns. So just keep that in mind. But today, again, our focus is, can perfectionism be fueling your unhealthy relationship patterns? So first off, everybody just take another breath. Many of us resonate with perfectionism. Whether you personally identify with it, or you have a friend, or you've been in a relationship with someone who is a perfectionist, it can be really overwhelming. A lot of the perfectionist mentality is all or nothing. You know, if you struggle with perfectionism, it might feel that you are always overachieving, but still not enough. Just know that if you resonate with that, take a breath. It's okay. Hey, Maddie, I see you. But the truth is, most women really struggle with perfectionism. Women statistically are more likely to experience perfectionism. So how that can show up in our life is, like I said, really getting caught in the details, all or nothing mentality. And how that can show up in relationships is a lot of different ways. One of the main things when it comes into relationships is that one of the main things that comes into the relationships is that when we are constantly in that state of perfectionism, we are looking for all of the ways that something can be better. Am I right? We are looking at the negatives, looking how it could be improved. We're second guessing ourselves. We're asking the question, well, what if I should? It's never enough. Drop a yes into the chat if you resonate with that mentality of always having to give, always not being enough. Just know that it's okay. Perfectionism in that sense is really going to impact our self-worth. It's going to impact our self-esteem. It's going to impact the value in which we see ourselves. Yeah, I see you. It's really going to impact the way in which we see ourselves. Because when perfectionists make mistakes, we don't look at it and think about, ooh, I trust the learning process. I've learned so much in this mistake. No, perfectionists, they have something different going on in their brain. They don't look at it as learning from the process. They look at it as a part of themselves. That failure, that mistake is representative of them, their personal qualities, their internal flaws. Take a breath and roll your shoulders if you feel that. So bringing it back to relationships. When we are in that state of perfectionism, of always looking for how things can be improved, always feeling like if a mistake happens, it's a reflection of who we are, how do you think that would impact a relationship? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. But one thing I will say, because I'm going to break this down, because Thursday Tickles are meant to be short little videos of insight. I want to break this down into two. One, when we think of unhealthy relationships, we think of unhealthy relationships with someone else, but how often do we think about the unhealthy relationship that we might be having with ourselves? So can perfectionism fuel your unhealthy relationship patterns? Definitely. And how that can show up with yourself is negative self-talk, always putting yourself down, feeling like what you do is never enough, fixating on things that aren't reflective to your values, putting your worth conditional on the amount of things that you're producing, the perfectionism of them coming out. So that's one way that perfectionism can fuel an unhealthy relationship pattern with self, or multiple ways. The other one that I want to quickly touch base on is how it can fuel your relationship pattern with someone else. So if you are a perfectionist, this can show up by finding someone who is also a perfectionist. And if you are with someone who is a perfectionist, or if you are with someone who is not, that person, that perfectionist, is going to be the one who might be feeling frustrated with a partner because what they're doing is never good enough. They might feel resentment because they tend to do more things in the relationship because it has to be done perfectly, so the other person can't do it. Drop a yes into the chat if that's you. No judgment. There's no judgment in healing, but just drop a yes into the chat if you struggle with perfectionism and it really comes out in the way you treat your partner, with always having them kind of go above and beyond. Now, on the flip side, this can also impact our relationship with other people because if you're a perfectionist and you are struggling with your self worth, if mistakes are a reflection of who you are, you might have the tendency to find a partner who could use that kind of against you. If you are unsure, if you're second guessing yourself, if you feel like everything that you do isn't good enough, it doesn't matter, you don't start projects, then someone might be able to come in and see that and really take advantage of that momentum, take advantage of that lack of self worth or the lack of self esteem, because you might not be trusting yourself if you're a perfectionist. You don't trust yourself to do it perfectly imperfect. So take a breath into that. I'm looking at you, Instagram, and you, Facebook, just so everybody knows I'm not breaking eye contact. But I want you to know that I love you. And wherever you are on your perfectionist journey, it is okay. There's no judgment in healing. We live in a world where we are taught at a very young age to get perfect grades, perfect scores, to be the best. We shift into that overachieving mentality and into one of perfectionism when we start to really internalize those values, when our worth becomes conditional, when we're looking at our mistakes not as a process of growth and learning, but really as a process of being a failure or having a flaw. So my invitation to you, if any of this resonates, if you'd like more support, join me next week, Wednesday, December 7th. I'll be doing a free masterclass called Silence the Inner Critic, and I'll be sharing 3 keys to really break out of the loop of perfectionism. So you can have more time, energy, and fulfillment and really start to navigate those relationship patterns from a place of healthiness and a place of empowerment. Not just for yourself, but for other people as well. Again, that personal and interpersonal relationship. Now, this masterclass is December 6th. It's free. You can find a link in my bio. I'll put one in the comments as well. It's going to be 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And if you have any questions, know that I'm here. I've got your back. If you know of any women who are struggling with perfectionism, please share this video as a resource for them. For a lot of perfectionists, feeling alone is one of the hardest things. So let them know that they're not alone, because together we radiate, together we rise. Sending so much love to everybody.